Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. The Four of Swords. There's a disbelief in ourselves. It feels like this is a limitation, that we are for some reason that we're stuck in this way of thinking that's just I can't get past this point. You know, it's a lack of faith, I think, in ourselves right now. So to see a Four of Swords right here says that we're in a box and we need to get out of this box, right? Something needs to change. Anytime we got a four of anything, the four says we need something to change. Because if we've got a four, it means we've been there too long. We've been there too long. Things are not moving, okay? That things are stuck, that we've backed ourselves into a corner, perhaps, but we've built a box around ourselves. And I think it's a box of air. I think it's a box of beliefs. It's the limitations that we believe about ourselves, and we believe them, therefore they are true. Let's see what we're doing with that. Let's put a little context around this, shall we? We got to get out of this box. And there is the Devil card. There's a little bit of ambition. We may not be able to go north, south, east or west out of this box, but the goat's going to climb straight up, all right? Straight up. This is that ambition. This is that thinking outside the box, climbing outside the box, yeah? Very good energy. 10 of Cups, look at that. The Princess of Wands, spontaneity. The Lover's card. A union, a commitment, an inspiration that is geared towards this ultimately happy and fulfilling life. 10 of Cups. That is beautiful, right? Every cup is full. And a 10 of Swords. To get to the 10 of Cups, we got to get rid of this 10 of Swords. We have to allow these limitations to go. We have to be willing to climb outside of this box. And then we realize that it was a bit of a prison. The 10 of Swords, I always call it like the bird cage, the gilded cage sometimes, right? Where we feel there is a limitation around us. Sometimes we're not even aware of it. Other times we can clearly see the bars, okay? And we've got that Emperor and a lot of good, look at the bright colors we've got today, right? And then, of course, we get a Queen of Pentacles, very dark colors. But it's a mixture. It's not black or white. It's not light or dark. Everything has light and shadow. And we've got a Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is also one of these boxes that needs to change, right? So it says that in our thinking and in our feeling, in our heart and in our mind, we're being limited by something. And the life that we want, this 10 of Cups life, this dream come true, this picture-perfect happiness, that we know, there's a certainty. This is down beneath the surface. This is within you. This is already imprinted on your soul that this is meant for you, right? We have to realize that the situation that you're in, mentally and emotionally, we must transcend it. We must look to make some changes. We must look to improve, to get better, to go beyond, to exceed. And I think that's what you're doing right now. I think you got a little taste through this Princess of Wands. This is that, again, that spontaneity. I think that you partook in something recently that, maybe you attended a show, maybe you went to a party, maybe you engaged with a friend, or you went somewhere, or you did something, but I feel like you got inspired. I feel like it was this realization that, hey, I could have some of this too in my life, Maybe you were talking to a friend and they were telling you about kind of what's going on in their life, right? And we just kind of get inspired by that. And we feel now that, hey, we can step outside the box. I want to do something outside of my comfort zone. Yeah. And I think that this is the way that we end up inspiring others, and others inspire us, and we're all connected. You do something that's outside the box, and someone else witnesses that and thinks, I want to do that too. If we think about everybody in the world, and everybody is doing something different, right? Everybody is having an experience different than our own. And that fact alone is rather inspiring. It says, I want to get outside of my box. I want to experience what other people are experiencing. I want to see how much more I can bring into myself. I want to see how much more expansive I can make my world. I don't want to live in a little box. I want to live in an infinite circle, right? An infinite sphere. Let's select the mystery card. Maybe the mystery card will be the world or universe card. We're going to just select a random card here from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is that factor, infinite and unknown. We're going to put Alien, Simon Moore Gripley right there on top, and we are not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us our confirmation at the end of the reading. Now, if at any point you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. I want to make the channel more interactive. I think it's a fun little game. It's a way to get you doing something. You're here, might as well put you to work. But more than that, I feel like it's good to practice our intuition. I feel like the more we practice, the better we'll get. Yeah. Okay, let's look around the room. Major, 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 major. Very good major arcana energies. We're climbing out of this box because we feel inspired. The Lover's energy is that inspiration. It is like we've just been shot with Cupid's arrow. Now, it doesn't mean romance. I know we've been getting the Lover's card a lot lately. It doesn't mean romance. I can kind of hear the collective groan right now, but this is getting inspired. This is getting pierced through the heart with Cupid's arrow, and we just fall in love. We get inspired. Could be with a person. Yeah, it could be a soulmate, a true love situation. It could be with an idea. It could be with a life. It could just be general inspiration. We just feel inspired. What do we want to do with that inspiration? Right. Well, we want to commit ourselves to a life, to a 10 of Cups life. We want to commit ourselves to getting our life as close to this 10 of Cups as possible. We want to get our dream come true. We feel inspired, and through that inspiration, we commit, we pledge an oath to our divinity to go and get this life, to live this life. Right? See, we see the picture of that life. We see the 10 of Cups. That's the picture-perfect life. I want that life. Okay? We feel the inspiration to go after it. Us going after it, us pursuing this life, is the 9 of Cups. That's the pursuit of happiness. That is following your bliss. Following your bliss leads you here. This is something that's always, it's a moving goalpost. It's always going to be a little bit out of reach. And it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Because once you become sugar, you can no longer taste sugar. We need to be a little bit different from that so we can still taste the sweetness of life, right? So this is that ideal, and we want to live the life of pursuing that, of getting as close to that as we can, enjoying as much of that picture-perfect life as we can. Maybe a 9.5, right? And to do that, we have to take command, we have to take charge, we have to stand up, and we have to say, I'm getting out of this box. You've got this engine already in you. You've already got everything that you need within you, in your guts, with this Devil card. This is your guts, right? This is that engine within you. Reminds me of that Cake song. I remember the Satan is my motor, right? I don't remember the name of that song. Very good song. I love Cake. This is our ambition. This is our endurance. This is our just raw power and desire to climb. We're in that box and we're just climbing now. We just have this insatiable lust for physical activity, for progress, right? Our muscles just want to move. Yeah. And where it's taking us is outside of this cage. The first step is realizing that we're being limited by our beliefs, by what I think I'm capable of, what I think is meant for me, what I think I should do, what I think I'm meant to do. Once we realize that we're limited by what I think I can do, we begin to see the bars all around us. Not only what I think I can and can't do, but what other people think I can and can't do. So we see more bars, not just our own limited beliefs, but these other things that might be holding us back. Okay, and ultimately it comes down to our choice. Well, we have to make that conscious effort to climb out of this box, to squeeze in between the bars of this bird cage, and to stretch our wings. Yeah. And I think there was something happened recently that inspired you. Okay, and I don't know if it was, it could be anything. It could be that you had a trip to Paris, or it could be that you just had this realization in the coffee shop, just sitting there, But I feel like this is kind of that this is that bug that we sometimes get that just says, I want to do something. I don't know what, but I got to do something. It's kind of a restless creativity, And that is because of this. That's because the goat is stuck in this box, stuck in this cage. So the higher we get, the more we transcend this limitation, the more we realize how complex it really is. This is an ongoing process of work. Right? Ongoing process of work. And if we apply the same logic to the Ten of Swords as we did to the Ten of Cups, we say we can never get to the Ten of Cups. We can never get so far on the other side of the bars that we can actually objectively look at this and see what it was all at once. Right? The best we can do is maybe a Nine of Cups. A Nine of Swords in this case. Well, a Nine of Swords is despair, is cruelty, is sleepless nights, is waking up from a nightmare. And maybe that's just it. Maybe we are never going to fully realize, it kind of reminds me of the Matrix, right? We can have these little glimpses. We can try to get away from it and abstract ourselves as much as possible, but we can never fully get out of it because it's the very nature of consciousness itself, the very nature of our reality. We can never get all the way out of this bird cage, right? And it's kind of, we get out of the bird cage, we realize there's an even bigger one that we're in. When we get out of that one, there's an even bigger one, right? Because it's consciousness itself. It's reality. It's being itself, right? So we'll settle for the Nine. We'll settle for having those moments of waking up from the nightmare. It's kind of a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. It's kind of an inception here, right? But that's what we do. That's the work. And just like the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups, we're striving for that ultimate objective view of things, knowing that we're never going to actually get all the way there. But that's okay. Not in this incarnation anyway, right? I like the Lover's card. For some of you, this is definitely getting hit with being love struck, right? Falling in love, soulmate, true love at first sight kind of thing. Just getting hit with that inspiration, hit with that love. Okay? And if this is your thing, then that's what this card means. But this card is the inspiration. This card is the decision to pursue that thing. What is that thing but union? The decision to pursue this union. Okay? And it really is the union with your dream life, right? Your picture-perfect life. Let's go to the path of the serpent. Good energies over here. Right, we had majors over here, then we had some fire, some water, and some air. Over here we have our majors, we have some water and some earth. So it's fairly balanced, but it all really does come down to the fours, and the fours always need to change. We realize what the intellectual constructs are that we need to try to get away from. The beliefs, the things that we believe or that we think we know about ourselves and about the world. The reality that we perceive, the picture in our head, And over here, this is what we think we want. This is the desires. This is feeling like things are pretty good right now. Why would I rock the boat? But the four needs to change. This is a boat that ain't going nowhere. This is a boat that has a perfectly good motor, has sails, even has oars, right? Has solar panels. It's all ready to go, but it's not going anywhere. You think it's safe here in the cove. It's okay here in the harbor. Well, what we see on the path of the dove leads us to believe that we're not so happy here as we thought. Maybe we feel safe, maybe it's comfortable, it's familiar, but it needs to change, right? It needs to change. And now I think all of this really comes back to whatever this was. This is that something that changes your life. Because this is that spark that makes you realize that you've been living in the Four of Swords and Four of Cups, thinking and feeling, our heart, mind, have been stuck in a rut, stuck in a box, stuck in a routine, stuck in a square, right? What we want is the circle. Ever expansive, infinite. Every point is just as equal, as close to divinity as any other point in the circle, in the sphere, right? Everywhere is the center, and the circumference is nowhere found. This is our authority, our spirit-given, God, goddess, deity-given right to live our lives, right? We suddenly one day find ourselves in a body, in a conscious environment, in a three-dimensional environment. It's up to us how we want to live this life. It's up to us how far out of that bird cage we want to get, right? How far removed from that first cage we realize. How many dream layers out do you want to go, This is also the card that recognizes that we have to play by the rules. We have to kind of, in the three-dimensional world, we have to play by the rules of the laws of physics and things, right? But in higher dimensions, maybe we don't know what the rules are yet. We don't know what the laws are, what the physical, reality is of that plane. So the emperor here, the structure, the law and order, the foundation, the basis of reality that applies here now in 3D doesn't apply in 4D, 5D, 6D, 7 dimensions, We can't operate the same way in the higher planes that we operate here. They have their own laws. They have their own configuration of energies. So the Emperor is a very important card because it's our perception, it's our discipline, it's our acceptance of that reality. We're not too proud to think that in the higher dimensions, we don't really know what's what yet. So we've got to learn. And all of this is a combination of both of these cards. This is the authority, the attention, the discipline, right? This is our feeling that we're the boss. but also being wise enough and mature enough and secure enough in ourselves to say, I don't know all the answers. And there is a higher authority that I cannot override. The Queen of Pentacles, though, this is the one that learns from the past. We learn the lesson, okay, that first square that we're in, that Four of Swords, Four of Cups. We have to appreciate that experience. One, we have to appreciate it for what it was on its own plane. It had a very significant value to us at the time. It still does. We are going to keep the memories of it. It's not a bad thing. It's not evil, right? But it's there and we are transcending. So one, we appreciate it for what it was and the value that it had in our lives, the meaning and the place that it had for us at the time. We also understand, by remembering that situation, by learning the lessons of every given plane, we then are able to level up to the next plane and learn that lesson using the knowledge that came before, right? So every dream within a dream within a dream, every bird cage to bird cage to bird cage to bird cage, we are gaining in wisdom and knowledge, and we need to keep accumulating all of this wisdom, because what we learn here helps us in the next level. And what we learn on all those levels helps us in the next level. You see what I mean? It's all building up. It's all culminating. So there's an appreciation for every stage here. We don't shun the material plane. We don't shun the 3D world. We're learning a lot here. And what we're learning, we're going to need. Now, it's not going to apply the same way. We know that through the Emperor. It's not the same laws. But that experience, we have to distill that wisdom and take what we can with us to the next plane. Because that's what distillation is. Volatilizing the fixed. What is fixed here in 3D? Most of that is just matter, right? Just kind of dust and junk. So we distill that and we take the distillate. We take that purified wisdom from that, from the 3D. That we can take to the highest plane. The next higher plane. And then on that plane, we have to do this alchemical process again. We have to distill that to find an even more purified form and take that to the next level up, right? And that leads us, of course, these cards are connected to the Art or Temperance card. This is the Alchemical card. That is us distilling the wisdom. The wisdom that we gain here in the 3D, we distill that, we take that wisdom with us in that purified, that more purified form to the next highest plane. Okay, and then we do the process all over again. So this is a fractal kind of situation. It's a dream within a dream within a dream. And I think that, your life really is changing. I think we're starting with the heart and the mind. I think with the Four of Cups, you're realizing that the things you once desired, you don't really desire the same things anymore. You're realizing that your heart is changing. And that's okay. I think it all stems from whatever this experience was, whatever this event was for you. This is that something that has set all of this in motion. And it's leading you to realize that I don't want these same things anymore. I want something higher. Maybe you want something more creative in your life. Maybe you want a deeper kind of love or a different kind of love. Maybe you want that deep spiritual soulmate, love at first sight kind of love. Maybe career, maybe something you feel something different. I just don't love this the way I used to. And I think there's the realization that we've been limiting ourselves to this little square, this little box, when there's an entire universe out there. And you can go as far out or stay as close to home as you want. But what this past event does, that Princess of Wands, is making you realize that these fours are limited. making you realize that your future exists outside of these four little walls, right? Again, how far out or how close to home is up to you. But you know that these need to change. So what are we expecting for the mystery card then? A 5? Maybe an ace to add to one of these 4s to create the 5. We need that catalyst of change. I think the catalyst is this event. This event, the Princess of Wands, this, whatever this was, this is a night out with friends, this was a sudden realization when you're taking a shower, it doesn't matter. Whatever this event was, whatever this realization was, it sparked something. But that spark needs to be stoked into a decision, into a fire, into an activity, into you taking steps, right? We can all feel the inspiration, we can all feel that spark of fire. But until we start taking steps and allow ourselves really to be hit with that Cupid's arrow and make that commitment, then we've got to start doing things. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe this is going to be an ace. Yeah, maybe it will be an ace. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh, it's an 8 of Pentacles. Ace, 8, they sound similar, right? First thing I notice is that the 8, of course, is a doubling of the 4. So this is kind of, it's suggestive of this fractal energy. It's suggestive of this cage within a cage within a cage, of this dream within a dream within a dream, right? It's also suggestive of the prudence, the kind of temperate nature of this work. When you're doing this kind of alchemy, when you're doing distillation, right? Spiritual alchemy. When you're doing distillation, you don't just want to crank the heat up, right? Maybe one of these days I'll make some videos about plant alchemy, spagyrics, right? I'm very into that kind of stuff. So I've done a lot of distillation in my life. You don't just want to crank the heat up. You've got to know the right temperature. You got to know the boiling point of your materials, you know. So you can regulate the temperature. So it's cautious work. It's very careful work. It's very meticulous work. But this is the work that I think is the most meaningful. It looks boring, right? It looks like somebody's just kind of carving away on their pentacle and making their little thing. And maybe this is you doing some kind of crafting or art. Maybe this is you really enjoying that meticulous work. Maybe you're doing some kind of needlework or knitting or, what is it, cross-stitching or something? Maybe this is you doing that kind of calm, quiet work. Yeah. But what you're doing is etching your pentacle, your life, your consciousness, your reality, your universe. You are the pentacle. Okay? And it is up to us how meticulously and detailed and with how much love and care and devotion. When you love and care for something and when you're devoted to it, you're going to do it slowly. You're going to make sure that all your movements are precise. Because it is you and your life and your reality. You are the pentacle. The pentacle is you and the universe, the reality of you. Everything that you know. That's why it's really called a pantacle. Pantacle, right? It's pan, Greek, all. It is everything. It is you. It is the microcosm and the macrocosm. And if you look at this card, there have already been a few iterations of this pentacle. So this again is suggested of this fractal thing, this dream within a dream, this cage within a cage. This it may be even suggestive of reincarnation. You know, that we've created, we've kind of been through this before, in a way, right? This is deep. We're going to do an extended reading, Aquarius. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Aquarius every Thursday and Sunday. I am here every day, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Come back, see me again tomorrow. Watch one of your other signs. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Does not cost you anything. And leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I kind of have an announcement to make. I was going to make a different video for this, but I've already set things in motion to leave my day job. Okay, big news, I know. And I'm going to devote all of my time and energy to my YouTube career, I guess. I'm going to focus on these tarot readings. I'm also doing the bedtime stories. My other channel, it's called Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Only have a few stories up now. I hope to add more now that I am freeing up some time. Getting a new studio built. Should be a couple weeks away still. So I'm hoping to really make this, a full-time thing. So I want there to be more content. And then branching out into other channels as well, but this is my primary focus. Right? This is what I really love to do. And it just so happens that I made that decision to leave my job at around the same time that the algorithm started to change, and now my videos aren't really getting pushed out to as many new people, right? So I'm humbly asking that you all watch the videos till the very end, that you like them, that you leave a comment on them, that you share them where you can, and that you subscribe to the channel. Those are the best ways that you can support what I'm doing here. And, if there's anything else that I can do to make these readings of more value to you, let me know. We're all in this together, right? This is all a family. And I couldn't do it without you, and this is where I want to stay, Well, I want you to know, Aquarius, that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you. And we're all in this together.